Do you have an abundance journal? Perhaps a gratitude journal? And maybe you wonder what's the difference between the two. We'll explore this question in today's video, as well as why it's a really good idea to cultivate an abundance mindset. And if you're new to this, or if you struggle to think of things to write down in your abundance journal, I'm going to share with you here today some of the things that I've written down in my journal over a period of time, so that may help you also begin to broaden what you think about when it comes to creating an abundance mindset and what to write down in an abundance journal. I'm Julie, and I'm so glad you're here. I share here on this channel tips and tools for journaling and living a more mindful lifestyle. So I'm curious if you've heard the term abundance mindset. You can simply drop me a yes or a no down in the comments to let me know if you like. So I think that's probably a good place to start. Like, what is an abundance mindset? I go into the concept of this pretty deeply in a blog post that's called The Advantages of Abundance Mindset, and you can find that on my website at www.jmbliving.com in my blog there. However, I'll go ahead and give a short overview here. And I actually think it is usually a little bit easier to describe the opposite of an abundance mindset, which is a scarcity mindset. And this is where someone thinks that there's not enough for everyone. They hold on to things really tightly because they're afraid of losing things, or they're worried, something might run out. They often can be jealous of others, and they tend to be fearful of change, again, because of this potential for loss. Conversely, someone that has an abundant mindset is quite optimistic. They expect the best to happen. They believe there's multiple ways that you can get to success, and they really genuinely are happy for people when they see other people doing well and succeeding. So an abundance journal is very similar to a gratitude journal, where you list the things that you're grateful for in your gratitude journal. In an abundance journal, you list what is abundant in your life. So sometimes it can make sense for the same things to be listed in a gratitude journal as you would list for abundance. But when I'm focusing on abundance in my journal, I'm actually looking for things where I have more than enough in my life. Now, if you do this regularly, it can help your mind get in this habit of thinking that you have more than enough. It can help your mind be more positive, and it truly does change your brain physically, because you're building these new neural pathways in your brain because you're thinking like this on a repetitive basis. That's the concept of neuroplasticity that you probably have heard me talk a lot about if you listen to my channel regularly. But when you do this and you learn to think more positively, you begin to be happier on a regular basis as a result. Now, if you don't have an abundance journal, or a journal specific to use for this purpose, that's totally okay. I actually just use my regular journal both for listing gratitude as well as for writing things that are abundant in my life. I went back through some of my old journals to share with you here today some of the things that I've highlighted. So hopefully it may give you some ideas to help you look a little bit more broadly for things that are abundant in your own life. So let's take a look. So as I was sharing with you, I actually just use my journal to write down both gratitude and abundance. And the first thing that I highlighted here is soft, cozy socks. So it can be things that you possess that you really like and that you have plenty of. And I love soft clothing and soft, cozy socks. I also wrote down that I have the ability to give away journals and courses to people that may not be able to afford them and would really benefit from them. So anytime you can think of things in your life that you are able to give to others, this is a great example of abundance. So this one makes it to my list quite frequently. I've written down love and also friendship, because I'm blessed with having so many friends and a lot of people that love me, which I feel, that definitely is a symbol of abundance in my life. I wrote down the ability to visit loved ones. When I think back, about how difficult it used to be when people lived across the country to be able to travel and visit each other, the fact that I can just hop on a plane and that I can afford to hop on a plane and go out and visit family, to me that's a great example of abundance too. I wrote down blackberries and Swiss chard for free from Mom. So that's another thing. When people give you something, that's a great way of feeling like abundance is just flowing into your life. So it's really great to take notice of those kind of things. So let's see what else I have written down here. I wrote down great insurance at Kurt's new job, because I was thinking back about how when I first left my job to start creating these JMB Living journals, it was shortly before the pandemic started, and Kurt lost his job shortly thereafter. So there was a period of time where we were having to pay that really high price of insurance that many people have to pay or can't afford to pay. And so I do feel very blessed now that with his current position that he has an ability to get affordable insurance. So being able to afford certain things, that other people might not be able to afford, that's another great way to think about abundance. I wrote down comfortable shoes, because I can remember a time when, it was difficult to be able to afford shoes that worked really well for me, and I love my current shoes. I wrote down on another page, fresh flowers on my kitchen counter and a beautiful view, because I think I was thinking about the fact that there were times in my life as well where the view outside my windows wasn't near as gorgeous as it is right now. This one's kind of similar, but I marked it too, because it's something that's right here and I see all the time, but I do look at it as abundance. I wrote roses in my front yard, because I love being able to go out and pick fresh flowers like the roses. I wrote down strawberries coming on. We actually had a great crop of strawberries in the spring, and kale for the picking. So that was nice to be able to go pick kale out of my own garden too. This is also a springtime one too. Plenty of rain in our area. Unfortunately, many people got more than plenty of rain, and we've been blessed with just having enough here. I also wrote down having 2 cars. I can remember a time when, having 2 cars for a family was really a luxury. And I can remember also where I was just happy sometimes that the car I have, or I had at the time, was actually running and functional. So to me, that's a huge blessing as well. All right, I have one more journal that I've picked out a couple things here. I wrote down plenty of books to read, time to sleep, warmth inside, help for healing, and love again. And then the final one that I will share with you is the ability to eat out at a restaurant. There were certainly times in my life where I couldn't afford to do that. So I recognize that, as a bit of abundance in my life as well. So I hope you have found this helpful. If you use an abundance journal, or if you're practicing cultivating an abundance mindset, I'd love to know what makes it to your own list. Drop me, something in the comments and share. I'd love that. And since you made it here to the end, I'd also love to share with you a resource that I've created for you as well. It's a free guide that lists more ways that you can work on cultivating an abundance mindset as well. You'll just need to click on the link in the description section for this video and you'll be able to download this right away. So if you haven't already done so, I hope that you will subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you know of a friend that you think might benefit from this or the other videos that I share on journaling and mindful living, I hope you'll copy the link and shoot it to them in an email to share that with them as well. And until next time, I hope much abundance flows your way. Bye-bye.